And I'm going to bed.
Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Samuel Lake here, representing TeamJVS, here to give you guys another movie review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm here to talk about a film that is about film/cinema. Takes place roughly in the 1920s and goes and bleeds over to like 1930s and 40s. But it spans quite a bit around what it is to work in cinema, for good, for bad, for ambition, for greed, in sorrow, and in great excitement. And I'm talking about Babylon. Now, Babylon centers around Manny, Nellie, and Jack. Jack played by, of course, the amazing Brad Pitt. Nellie played by Margot Robbie. And then Manny is played by somebody that I thought did a really good job. This is Diego Calva. Now, there's a huge lineup of actors in this. I'm going to try to name off some of them. Jean Smart, Samara Weaving, Tobey Maguire, Phoebe Tolkien, shout out to her from Originals, Catherine Waterston, Max Mingala, Eric Roberts, Lucas Hayes, who else? You got Flea in this. You got PJ Byron from The Boys, who does an amazing job in this. And a slew of other amazing talent like Jovan, Adepo. It's just a lot of names, a lot of talent in this. It's insane how many actors are in this movie. But the backdrop is you have Jack Conrad, who's an amazing actor at this point, well established. And he kind of finds Manny by chance because Manny just happens to be this ambitious kid that is willing to do anything and everything to try to make it. Like, he's kind of working a house party. He's trying to work. The first thing you see him is literally try to help get an elephant to a party. And what his ingenuity and his willingness to do whatever it takes is something that is ambitious. But does he have what it takes? And then when he meets Jack and Nellie, it changes and transforms his life because Nellie is this free bird that just established in herself, regardless of where she's from, regardless of who knows her, that I am a star. So you have somebody that's already well established, somebody that is knowing that they should and will be established, and then somebody that's just happy to be in the same vacuum and space of both of these individuals. And then when it crosses together, that's when we have everything in one. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll say this. I've heard a lot of interesting things about this movie, a lot of negative things, that sometimes the script is a mess. I can personally vouch for the length of this is very long. Some of the approaches to certain characters and morals are very exaggerated, raw versions of that. Like the house party in of itself was just a lot. Like think Great Gatsby, but way more rated R and X-rated. Like there are themes of things that happen with certain characters that you've seen modeled before, and you're like, okay, what are you trying to say? It's like you're kind of missing the message of why are we going and leaning into this. Then certain elements in like the third and second act are just like a lot of gore and violence, like unadulterated like violence, and I don't even know why necessarily. Even certain scenes, like there was a war scene that kind of threw me off because I was like I get this is in the 20s, but like, are you really trying to make me perceive that this is just a normal kind of thing? And I think that that's where it misses the mark, because a person that just wants to see a normal movie fleshed out with expounding on the certain things and the specifics of the good, the bad, of trying to make it in Hollywood or make it into the industry, what that looks like is kind of missed because of all the extra stuff around. Saying that, I actually still enjoyed this movie, which is very fascinating to me. How I knew I was enjoying this film is there's a scene where Margot Robbie, at this point in the movie, they had just started using audio in films. In the beginning of the movie, like there's not even audio in film. It's like, it's just silent, right? And so to give you a scope out of it, like she's kind of in this little area. She can't talk really loud. Nobody can come in. No light can come out. Like the person on the camera rig has to be closed up in a box. The person that's the sound guy has to be up top. And every small little worst possible thing that could happen is happening, right? And she's trying to make sure she's keeping the lines in her head because she has to really actually act, even though she's very talented. And it is one of the most endearing, funny, dark, comedic things I've seen in a very long time. Like, it is a great moment. There's another moment with Jayvon and the, well, I don't want to go too much into the scene because it's really harsh. But Sidney Palmer is a musician, and he's being put in a very, very compromising situation. And there's no words in that scene really from him, but the understanding and the expression behind it is so significant. And there are pockets of moments like that with these talented actors that you're just like the raw talent of it all. Like it's so fascinating. And I mean, not just the raw talent of the characters they're playing, but the actors that are doing them. Margot Robbie, there's a scene that happens with her where everybody's looking at her like she's crazy. And the lady kept on asking her to do these unimaginable things. And she's just hitting it like a dime. And you like, sometimes you just don't realize raw talent when you see it. And when it happens, it's actual magic. And I think that from a movie viewer standpoint is exciting. Like it is what you're there for, to see a person that you never believe, could make it start to really show signs that they can do this. Same thing for Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is hilarious. He is he's a drunk, so to speak. But yet, even when he's drunk, like he keeps to his motives, he's on it, he gets the game, he's got a best friend that he kind of, gets affirmation from. And then when the time comes to shoot, he's there. And that's the same thing for Manny. Manny doesn't understand any of this, but he gets it. And I think when you start to see those certain things, that's when you're like, okay, I understand. I understand what he's trying to do. I understand that Damien is showcasing the glory behind when an actor or actress or director or producer, when it's going and it's going, it is there, right? But then he shows, and I think that he goes a little bit too far with it, but make no mistake, every single one of the characters or the characters that the characters knows, you can see where, oh wow, I can imagine this may have happened to someone in history of cinema, right? You can imagine that this is something that is believable for somebody's story, like that they, maybe did have a troubled past or a troubled family member. They take, like, the character Nellie, they take a lot from Marilyn Monroe. Like, it's kind of, it seemed, I don't know how to say this nicely. It seems like they're really telegraphing that a lot. Especially if you've looked at Blonde and you kind of see like the harshities of all that. But they do make Nellie her own. And I think that Margot does such a great job with it. Like, she nails it. All of them in their own way nail it. The problem is those individual moments and pockets where you ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this too much? And I think that's where the word mess comes fluidly or flippantly off of people's tongues when their perception of this film. I would say this: there are great moments in this film. There are undeniably important scenes in this film. Sometimes it is well captured, well shot. Like, some of the dance choreography is even really good. The problem is that everything else around it, whether you take the dance number, it's so much nudity and things going on. Like, you have to put a veil here to really accept the meat and potatoes of this. Same thing for, you know, those raw, amazing moments. For every amazing raw moment, then it kind of gets silly. It goes to left. It goes to cookie cutter. You know where it's going to go, because he's identifying the good, the bad of cinema. So every single character has those same exact traits where you know the road that they're going to go down. It's more enjoyable when they succeed and having to struggle to make it succeed, or when they're interfacing with each other. There's a moment with Bradley with Brad Pitt and Jean Smart playing the role of Eleanor. I think she's a journalist. That to me is the real raw understanding of cinema. That scene right there made so much more significant weight to me than the last scene of Fabelmans, which the last scene of Fabelmans is Fabelmans is still good. And it really surrounds, you know, Spielberg and his story. But that is about a person being motivated to get into cinema and understanding the craft of cinema, but it didn't talk about the process and agony to get to that place. There's only one scene that kind of happens, but just the conversation with Bradley and with Brad Pitt and Jean, like, it's so much more pivotal, because I can take this from a journalist standpoint. I can understand the struggle to how to get somewhere and you just cannot. Or you've apex, or like something else is there. And even though that happens, in the grand scheme of this, what is real, you know? And I think that at that moment, after that moment, things are, you know, good. Like, there are some good scenes here or there, but it kind of, the movie kind of hit its apex and kind of stopped. And I think that's where I'm not gonna say it goes off the hinges, but the changes is so jarring. I still say I think I enjoyed the film. There's things I just didn't like about it. I rest this at a 6.5 maybe, or a 7 out of 10. I cannot recommend this to everyone, but if you're a cinephile and if you know going in that you're going to get all this nudity, all this craziness, all this over exaggeration, like some stuff that is very crude, some stuff that's very questionable, some stuff that's downright rude and messed up, knowing that going in, I think you'll be okay if you want to accept it, but don't feel forced to. But if you want to see those good moments and understand what I'm trying to articulate to you, it could be worth it for you, okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. We've got a lot more reviews and coverage coming. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, guys.
Falling out the top of the moon, I can see skyline.